Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm ready to, let's just not even look at that streak. I'm ready to play well in Isaac. We had our reset, we had our breakdown, and now we're good to go. Yo, what a dense start. 8SOM P7TJ. HP's fine. Dude, DPS, rate of fire, so good. An orbital, and a good spacebar item. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. I know, I feel bad, because I complained about some runs, and they did suck. Like, don't get it twisted. They were really bad. And they were really bad all right in a row. But that doesn't mean we couldn't have won. If we'd played a little bit better. It's kind of the soul of Isaac sometimes, is having some runs that are... Let's say we have shop key. I was just checking. I didn't even necessarily expect this to be a shop. I thought maybe it could be a library and maybe the key won't even work. But definitely did turn out to be a shop, quite clearly. But this run, this is very generous. And you know what? I have to say I appreciate a game. I went back, you know, I wouldn't say it's a theory. But not even a game theory. Don't walk into the fire, but also don't let it get you down. Yo, free consumables for sure. Thank you. I don't think we care about what's in that other room potentially over there. What I was gonna say is, I said, you know, my theory, informally, is that, you know, I think if I have a good day in Slay the Spire, it's gonna trend towards a worse day in Isaac. The games have, you know, at this point, I played like 500 hours of Slay the Spire and like 3,000 of Isaac. There's not too many excuses to have like a truly awful day in either, maybe. But they do have non-overlapping skill sets. Guppy's Paw. At least it's a spacebar. I mean, beyond obviously being a Guppy item, it's also a spacebar item that we can use at some point, and we just got rid of our other ones, so. Pretty good start. You know what? I wouldn't even say good. I would say this is a swell start. That's right. I'm willing to break out the S word for it. So I went back and I played some Slay the Spire, and I sucked really bad, and then I said to myself, well, it must be an Isaac day. No, quite the opposite. I went back and had a great run. The D6. You know what? Don't mind if I do. Evil Eye's not the best, but still. This is a dense run full of upgrades early on. I went back and I had a good run, and I said, you know what? Okay, it's time to go back to Isaac. I wouldn't say, you know, angry is not the right word. I wasn't angry with our previous run. But, I was getting frustrated probably a little too easily. You know, every time I didn't get a good upgrade from an item room or a deal with the devil, I was increasingly, like, indignant about it. That's not the way, I mean, I do think it's fair to some extent. But that's not the way you should play Isaac. You know, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I actually think that was worth it. 2 keys for Nose Goblin. My favorite Guided by Voices song. Now, we can't really just look at this run and say that this run is evidence that, you know, if you come in with a more relaxed attitude, you're going to do better, because it is still luck of the draw. But, yeah, just a little bit more of the attitude of like, hey, if our first deal with the devil sucks, that's fine. Now, of course, it's a little easier to be zen about it when you already have, like, an awesome setup like we do right now. And make no mistake, I would have killed for this setup on our recent runs. Single-digit rate of fire, above 4 damage early on. Oh, and Squeezy on top of that with a bunch of Spirit Hearts. How come your mom lets you have 2 Squeezies? So, we're being reckless. Oh, but that's a huge get. I'm really actually quite happy with this. Just try not to screw it up. Curse of the Labyrinth. As long as we can find some Tinted Rocks, I'm going to be a happy man. And honestly, our DPS is just going to be disgusting. We don't need a whole heck of a lot for this one to come together. You know what we need for this to be an almost guaranteed victory? Dark Bomb. And we actually, it's an XL floor, so we got to be a little careful about deals with the devil, deals with the angel, and all that stuff, but it's all good. Because, let's go. We got a real big chance of a Guppy Dream. But what I was going to say is we might want to go deal with the Angel. Because the deal with the Angel is free. However, if you're in this situation, you're one Guppy item away, I think you got to give Guppy the chance to disappoint you. So we're going to use it again, but we're not going to use it forever. Guppy's head is an amazing item, but the D6 could be anything. It could even give us Guppy's head. I apologize. I don't like Family Guy as a show. At some point, the corner turned on Family Guy. You know, I was part of that age demographic where when it originally got canceled by Fox, I was like, this is an outrage. It's the greatest cartoon of our times. That's, you know, we were coming from this era where everybody my age had just watched a decade straight of The Simpsons, and we were looking for something fresh. Family Guy was something fresh. It was savvy with respect to the media. Yo, let's go, Spoonbender. I still think there's some nuggets of greatness in Family Guy, even though I haven't seen a new episode of the show in like 15 years. Spider-Man saying everybody gets one. I like it. Peter Griffin saying, you know, the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. Simple pleasures, no question about it, but, you know, comedic nonetheless. Now, I've been watching a little bit more classic Simpsons. I do this like once every 6 or 7 years. I'll go back and be like, oh, I gotta see season 7 of The Simpsons. But it's on TV because it never comes off of TV. And I'm like, dang, that show is still good. Up to a point. And then it's like, I don't know, this might be modestly controversial at worst. The Simpsons definitely got a lot worse. But even the episodes and the seasons that are bad, they're still pretty okay. Maybe it's just because, I think so at least. Maybe it's just because I got a fondness for the characters, I guess, but thank you for the HP. Rate of Fire Down sucks, but I'm really happy to have some extra survivability. We got speed, I think, too. You know, they don't hold a candle to the bad seasons of The Simpsons don't hold a candle to the classic ones, of course, but even the bad ones, I'm like, if an episode's on, I'm not going to turn it off. I'm not going to be like, this is an outrage. Probably wouldn't seek it out myself, but you get the idea. So we're treading on thin water to some extent here. Is that that is not an expression? Treading on thin water? Well, you know, ice is water, so it sort of technically makes sense. It's one of the few molecules where we call it something different if it's frozen. But still, you know, I'm not trying to get all Neil deGrasse Tyson on you. Actually, whoop, be very careful here. You know, we're happy to have booger tears, but we really want some keys so that we can access both of these item rooms and also ideally our shop, because we could really use a spirit heart as well. But this run, you have my pledge and my word, this run is not going to fall apart. Really wanted that to be a secret room. It's not going to fall apart, and I'll tell you why. The DPS is too strong. No, not BTS. I wasn't talking about a K-pop band. No, not DPS. I wasn't talking about a role in many video games. Although I did say DPS. It's a different context. Hold on. Brain's broken. It was earlier today when I said, you know, I've got the fresh brain, so I think my brain's not making too many mistakes. Since then, I've recorded 3 more Isaac episodes of Slay the Spire and a Northern Lion Live Super Show that's 3 hours long. So, just keep in mind, your boy's been at it today. As my colleagues occasionally make fun of me for working, just keep in mind, you know, all those hours playing Isaac, only like 3/4 of them are because I'm in love with this video game and can't figure out how to stop. The other quarter is because, you know, you gotta keep the lights on at the Laterno homestead. People that got episodes they want to fall asleep to, I'm happy to fulfill that niche, but that's time in the mines for me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I would have it any other way. I think that was worth a key. But it will mean Well, I have some things to think about as we come down here. Probably the shop is your safest bet. You know, I'm not gonna take it because we have a run that works very, very well without it. But it is funny. We could take it and get away with it. I just want you to know I'm not gonna, because I respect you and I respect your time. Nah, our luck stat's not high enough, I think, to really justify that. Nah. You know, I think that's probably our best outcome. We ended up not being able to go to one of our item rooms. We did open a bunch of golden chests early. We just expected we'd get more over the course of the rest of the floor, but... Oh, I didn't even notice. Let me go, please. I didn't even notice that was a blue spike at first. So, we're on depths 1. We have a 100% chance of a deal with the devil. Yo. This is where things are gonna pop. Now, yeah, you know, I'm willing to do this. We got a bomb back. Really, we're not really suffering on the bomb side so much as we're suffering on the key side, so... No! I got trapped, like, longitudinally. Sentence I never thought I'd say. Give me a key here, please. Not a key. That's fine. Anyway. What? Literally, I can't even process, like, how my brain deemed to do that. Because I got incredulous about the fact that I took damage before I even walked into the beam. It was like, I wish I could get in there and just look at the order that, like, things are sent and received. I mean, like, is it TCP or UDP up there? Come on. But, like, my brain knew I was gonna get hit before I got hit. And well in advance of the time that I would need to be warned in order to actually dodge it. But then instead of dodging, it just said, you know what? Formulate a comment about getting hit and then send it out there, and that's good enough. I'm not mad. I'm just impressed that it's such a complex machine, and that despite being such a complex machine, it's still capable of doing dumb stuff like that. And I'm here to tell you, if you think your brain is perfect, you're being coddled by your middle school teachers right now. I'm being sincere. People are too polite to tell you when you're making mistakes, because everybody does it. We all got the same, well, not all the same, but we all got a pretty similar class of meat going on up there. I'm a smart person, you're smart people if you're watching these episodes. You know, you at least made good choices in entertainment. But of course I would say that. You know what? That might seem like the wrong time to use alges, but I actually think it wasn't. I think we would have taken some damage there, and even just a little bit would put us under the gun. Oh, lovely. So Rotten Baby, we have like a surrogate guppy. And we got like every tear effect I like, but in weird forms. Like, we have piercing tears in the form of Eye of Belial, which is actually, you know, I have to remember, just because it was added to the game recently doesn't mean it's rare. Like, Eye of Belial is probably the second most common piercing shot. I feel like we still get Death's Touch more often, but it also is kind of unfair. It's been in the game forever, so I might be misjudging that. And then we have Booger Tears. We have it via the trinket, though, instead of the item. I'll level with you. I think the trinket is way more common than the item, in my experience. And then we have Flies, but the Flies are from Rotten Baby. Now, that Rotten Baby and Guppy are probably pretty close to 50-50. We could get Mom's Box of Trinkets temporarily. I don't think we need to. I actually think we're very happy and content to just stack up as much HP as possible. I don't even know if we've had... I don't think we have had the broken modem so far, so I'm very happy to take it. And I'll take another one of these. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to say we just guaranteed ourselves the win, but I think we're in a real nice position as a result of the decisions made, you know, over the past couple of floors. And, of course, the incredibly, you know, good assortment of items we've had to begin with. Are you a wizard? No. I mean, I am 30, but what's the other condition? I can never remember. Ha 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 ha. Anyway. That's right. I'm familiar with the internet. I've been on the internet since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Think you can roll a meme by me because you think it's on an unsavory website or something like that. I don't think so, mister. Tell ya, I almost... Lump of coal is the smart money, but I almost want it to be head of the keeper so that we can justify a reroll. So be it. Oh, look at that speed upgrade. Okay, so we didn't get the guppy payout. In that situation, we definitely would have preferred to go to a deal with the angel, but there's no way to know. And to be honest, lump of coal might end up being a real nice get for us. I'm willing to give you a little shot at the champ here. So this is a foreign feeling. We're ahead of schedule. We got great damage, cool tier effects. Even our familiars are helpful for us. You know, we might not be using the hearts from Little Chat all that often, but we're happy to see them, especially in a case like this where we got a Demon Judgment waiting right outside. You know, big chubby. It blocks shots, if I remember correctly. So there's, you know, the damage that comes out of it is not that strong, but it has a certain defensive charm. Finally, our consumable game is pretty good, too. Go back here. I'm gonna get you. I hope you know that. You're gonna get got. It might not be today. It might not be next room. But soon, and every room for the rest of your life. That's from the 2018 film Bumblebee. I was talking about it on the NLSS today. I'm in a really weird position with Bumblebee. I'm willing to admit, I'm in a petty position with Bumblebee. I have railed against the Transformers films. I don't want to say it's everything wrong with cinema, because I don't think that's true. But I think that they suck really badly. The first one is fine. Subsequent ones, I have no goodwill towards in my entire body. There is not a single sympathetic bone. If you like them, that's fine. I just think that they suck. So when I saw that Bumblebee was coming out, I was like, okay. Trash franchise finally died. Now they're going to reboot it. I'm cynical about the Transformers movies. And I'm cynical about reboots. This better suck. And then I saw the trailer. And in the trailer, I'll admit, I said to myself, oh, Haley Steinfeld, what are you doing? Your career started so bright with a co-starring role in the Coen Brothers' True Grit. Ironically, a remake. Not lost on me anymore. And now you're over here doing Bumblebee with John Cena. Acting alongside an animatronic robot. And then later in the trailer, the robot plays Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. And I said, that's where I draw the line. This movie's gonna be garbage. And then, I saw the second trailer. I felt so smug and assured of myself. We will still take it. We could probably trade our trinket out now. I felt so smug and assured of myself, like all was right in the world. I saw the second trailer. And in that trailer, instead of John Cena being like a hardened military colonel, he actually seems like the movie is self-aware that it's silly, and I'm not saying he's like a jester or anything along those lines, but he's like aware of the fact that the movie is, you know, for kids, I guess is a good way to describe it, or at least it's kind of fluff, not in a bad way. And I started to get this horrible feeling in my stomach. I was like, oh my god, this movie might actually be good, and I'm gonna have to re-examine my preconceived notions about the Transformers franchise. Judgment. Reviews come out. As of right now, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. I find out it's directed by the same director as the animated classic Kubo and the Two Strings. I say to myself, it's coming true. Now I'm on that stage of grief known as acceptance. Now, it might still suck. And I don't mean that to be rude. It might be likable, but inoffensive. Or, I don't know, at this point, for all I know, it could be like a modern E.T. or something like that. It doesn't seem loved, but it seems very well liked. I apologize for the cough. And you gotta be the bigger man. And I think this is what happens in a lot of situations. People go, well, the critics must be wrong. I refuse to believe that, because that would be, I'd have to acknowledge even more of my preconceived notions about the critics almost always being right. We're not gonna do boss rush, but I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about if we can get a way out. I really want this demon judgment to pay out, by the way. I mean, like, dude, I've been working on this for a long time. Thank you. Really appreciate the HP. Anyway, long story short, I thought Bumblebee was going to be garbage, and I, would have gone on the record being like, I think that movie's going to be trash. I'm seeing now the error of my ways. And I hope you'll forgive me. Now, it still doesn't look like something I would rush out to see in theaters. I'm not going to go see it just because it seems like it's well-liked, but if it comes on TV, I'll give Bumblebee a chance. And I'll admit, there's something about, it's not even fair. Movies with animals, or movies with companions that are animal-like, they just have like a built-in, oh, that's so useful. They have like a built-in emotional factor. Like, any movie that has like a pet in it, they're playing with your heartstrings. I respect it, because I wouldn't resort to that trick myself, but... And it gets me every time, dude. So I know that at one point, that Bumblebee, he's gonna... And I got no affinity for this character whatsoever. Bumblebee was an advertisement until, in my world at least, as far as I was concerned. I think we've seen all those, thankfully. Now I know, I can just picture myself. Bumblebee's gonna jump in front of a bullet for her or something like that, and then, she's gonna look into his green-screened eyes and, realize, people are worth saving or something like that, and Bumblebee is strong but scared because he doesn't know what's happening, and it's I'm gonna be crying in a theater full of 13-year-old boys who are like, this isn't sad. What's sad is I lost my Fortnite Royale match look, I'm 100 years old. Fortnite Royale? Stupid mom called me for dinner in the middle of my Victory Royale. Didn't even get to dab on the haters. That's not how kids talk. You know what movie does a really good job of satirizing the idea that teens and preteens are stupid? I'm coming to bat for you guys, by the way, if you're of this age and you're listening to this. It's an old movie. It's a classic. You might be able to find it on Turner Classic Movies. It's called 21 Jump Street. It's a good film. Don't question it. When they go to school, the kid who used to be cool, as played by Channing Tatum, his fragile masculinity makes him appear extremely vulnerable to the students. Like, it makes him seem like he's posturing to the woke students at the high school that he's now at. As a result, he finds that things have changed, and in many ways, teenagers as a concept have grown up since his admission at the high school, merely a decade earlier. Always thought that was cool. You expect it to be like... It's one of the reasons that movie is smart, even though 22 Jump Street is mostly remembered for, even despite being good, mostly remembered for, my name is Jeff. An impression that I'm always begrudging to do, but am only pretending to begrudge, because I really think that, to be honest, it's kind of one-to-one. I think I'm pretty good at it. Anyway, the point is, I'm hilarious, and, I went into 21 Jump Street much like Bumblebee, thinking, like, this movie's gonna stink. And then when I got to that part, I was like, wait a minute, I'm in good hands. They're subverting my expectations. Hey, so we're in another touchy spot here. That's okay. Always remember and never forget. We're one item. That was lucky. We're one item away from Guppy, and we got a great deal with the Devil Chance. Even if we don't get our deal with the devil, we have a good chance of survival thanks to little Chad. I don't know where I need to go. What? What? Okay, deep breaths. Don't lose your focus. You know what? Take this as an opportunity to come back here and look for some HP. That's fine. To be honest with you. No. To be honest with you, we would really like to get rid of this curse. I would like to purge this curse from existence. You know, I'm a grown man. I got better things to do in my life than walk around the map made of question marks just because there needed to be 8 curses in the game. I'm putting on a brave face. I know I'm basically a hero, but is it really? Oh, we're good. Never mind. All complaining is fallen by the wayside. No. No! Okay, we're fine. I shouted loud enough. I'm sorry, you were probably trying to sleep, but I got, like, the adrenaline's pumping for me over here. Sorry. The Matrix. No! No! Just as many booger tears as you can stack. Oh my god. I think we've done it. We have to go for the deal with the devil. We need that guppy chance, dude, and we got it. And now we're dead in a single hit. Oh no. It's real dicey, but I don't know, man. How could you not? Our whole life is about becoming the Gupster right now. Now, we could die at any moment, but it would be a pleasure just to have had the kind of damage we have on this run. Yo, let's go. All right, we're never gonna lose. There's no chance. You can't lose when you are guppy. Can't lose when you are guppy. You can't lose when you... So sorry, the tape was warped a little bit there. Maybe that's why my singing voice is bad, is because, you know, I grew up listening to music on my dad's tape deck. And, you know, some the tapes get warped, so, you know, when I heard Crocodile Rock, it wasn't like da 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 da. It was wow, wow, wow. You know, it was all like the film was all screwed up, and that has permanently affected my brain. I'll level with you, dude. I hold my pediatrician responsible for this. The good news for him is that he's long since dead. I mean, he was my pediatrician. He was like 70. I was 4. So the odds of that dude being alive, I mean, it's theoretically possible. Kirk Douglas just celebrated his 102nd birthday, but I doubt it. Anyway, he was an old school kind of guy. I told this story before. If you're wondering what's going on with the effects, it's a broken modem. It's causing the enemies to glitch out a little bit. But, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, hey, Mom, I can't see the chalkboard that well in school. And she said, chalkboard? Why don't you go to a better school that has a digital whiteboard? And I said, Mom, that's not really that helpful, okay? But let's go deal with the angel this time. Yo. Well worth it, I think. Well, no. I mean, it is HP, but we probably could have re-rolled it. I will take the rosary. I'm not in a position to be making enemies. So we went to see my doctor, my pediatrician. He gave me an eye test and went, yeah, his eyes are pretty bad, but, you know, you don't want to wear glasses and be a nerd, right? Like, so you're probably never going to be a fighter jet pilot, so what? He's still, you know, in his head, too, he was like, I did that kid a great service. He would have been called Four Eyes. Instead, I actually think that part of the reason, like, I'm spatially disinclined might be because, you know, when I was younger, my brain was like, hey, eyes, work harder. And they were like, I'm working as hard as I can. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. And then the brain was like, all right, we're going to compensate. We're going to become, you know, linguistically inclined and, you know, a little bit arithmetically inclined as well. I know that it seems like a surprise to you, but... where was I going with this? Anyway, the point is... I never read picture books as a kid. They just looked like big words to me. I'm not sick, and I know that sounds like something that someone who is sick would say. Sometimes I don't realize I've recorded too much over a day until I get the little dry throat coughs. And I have some water, but it's only a temporary assuaging of the great dry throat in the sky that comes for us all. Now, I'm talking about the munchies. Anyway. We're gonna win now, and that feels good. We definitely danced with the devil in the pale moonlight. We got pretty close to our own demise, and you know, we with Icarus, or as Icarus, I should say, we went up and we got our wings singed, but we stopped short of letting them get completely burned off. And for next run, to be honest, probably play it a little bit more conservatively. I think it's a very strong chance that we went a little bit too aggressive here. Unnecessary. But it seems unlikely we'll pay the price, especially with the succubus pickup. I'm not even going to mention what I was about to say, because it was a complaint about the run. What I was going to say is that, you know, in the end, at the end of the day, we do still have only 6.95 damage. So although it's a, you know, our offense is off the chain, there was still a lot of room to grow here, but I don't want it to be seen as belly aching. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut, because it kind of is belly aching, but all of our other, like, aggregate effects are really coming through in the clutch to help us out here. I'm unbelievably appreciative and thankful for those. Thank you so much, and, you know, hopefully we can get more and more of those next time. Yo, 2020's huge. Dark Bomb specifically asked for. Let's take Leech and 10 bombs, just because we can. You know, Dark Bomb in particular, we asked for it early, it showed up late. Hey, still delivers faster than Amazon. You know, they might be next day delivery, at least if you live in a major urban area, and for specific products only that they distribute. But either way, this was like, you know, 25-minute delivery, maybe less. You can't get that unless you live in Seattle. Or you work on the Amazon site, but in that case, something P breaks, something billionaire, you know, the joke writes itself. It just take your political and, you know, economic system beliefs and then insert them in the funniest way possible, and then give me your Twitch Prime subscription, and I'll remain free of guilt somehow. Midas Touch. Not really gonna help us. It took me a second to think about it. Dude, Infestation 2 is also amazing. We're getting so much value out of a .07 luck stat. Every room is with chest. I'm trying to bring back the use of that verbiage, you know? With child. Every room is glowing. I was gonna say betrothed. That's not the way that works. Always. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. We're back, and I'll see you next time. See ya!